While the Southern Hospitality cast went from Charleston to New York to do part one of the reunion, we at Remote Reality, we went from Charleston to Edisto Beach. That's right, not Edisto Island, like this cast kept calling Edisto to my objections at the beginning of the season. This is the beach. This is the salt marsh we are sitting on. If I turn my camera this way, you're going to see Edisto Island State Park right beside the house here. And if we go about half a mile in front of me, we're going to end up at the Murdagh's Beach House. So channel surfers, check out the TikTok later. We will post that. But for now, let's cover Southern Hospitality, Season 4 Reunion, Part 1. Let's watch.
Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the host, side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
Hey, channel surfers. Welcome to Remote Reality. I'm Lauren, your friend and attorney host who loves to overanalyze everything, including our favorite reality TV shows.
And I'm Dee, her paralegal and co-host.
And today we are joined by a special guest, my friend Izzy. This is my best friend's daughter. She's been on a couple of episodes of Remote Reality. And Izzy, we're from Charleston. She's been to Republic. We go in the daytime, for a brunch and mimosas, and the kids play outside on the porch. Izzy, welcome to Remote Reality. And we've watched the Southern Hospitality reunion. Now, I don't know if Izzy knew everything that was being talked about, but let's just say if certain things come up, we might refer to it as crayons or coloring, if you catch my drift. All right. Well, let's drop one more little thing on Dee. We might have another special guest. Izzy, are you going to tell who? It's a secret, so we'll see. So let's start the reunion by talking about fashion. I'm one to talk right now. I'm sitting here in a beach cover-up. But, all right, best dressed. I'm going to give best dressed to Lake. She looked like a golden goddess. She had on this tube top, glittery dress, lots of sequins. So that's my best dress for the ladies.
Actually thought that Maddie's dress was gorgeous. I love the way that the silver, it looked like chains or necklaces like draped across her breast, and then it matched like around her neck. So it was kind of perfect to me. It was very glittery as well.
Mia also had on a silver dress. The thing is, I'm not feeling the silver. I feel like gold is a warmer tone.
Yeah, for me, it was just the design of Maddie's dress. I just really liked the way it was designed.
So for the guys, I'm going to have to say Joe is the best dressed. And Joe is wearing Michols' outfit from his modeling gig.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know what the trend is that's going on, but it looks like TJ has no shirt on underneath his jacket.
TJ and Michols.
Yeah, both of them were like that. Now, Joe still has his signature, unbuttoned down probably too far, but as far as best dress, yeah.
That suit looks like it was made for him. He outdid Michols in Michols' outfit. Now, Michael was looking great, but worst dressed guys, actually, TJ was kind of on that list. It was a toss-up between TJ and Justin. TJ looked like he just rolled in off the beach and put on a suit jacket.
Yeah,
He
but
saw his necklace on.
Honestly, I didn't expect anything different from Justin. I mean, I expected him to show up like that.
Yeah, but he didn't look that put together to me. It looked like an oversized suit, like he borrowed it from someone when he got there.
Right, and that's exactly what I was saying. I agree. He was the worst dressed, but I didn't expect him to come in looking like the other guys. He came in dressed exactly the way I would expect him to be dressed.
For the ladies, I think it was hard. I'm going to have to go with Leva. The green looked amazing on her, but I just didn't like the big shoulders in it. It wasn't my style.
No, for me, it was Molly, and I know that brown is very popular, but I hate the brown dresses. I just don't like them. So I'm going to have to say Molly because her dress was brown.
But really, everyone looked good.
They all look amazing. It's such a beautiful cast.
Nice.
I mean, yeah, they're such a beautiful cast. It really doesn't make they could be wearing potato sacks and look amazing as far as I'm concerned.
You make it hard for the worst dressed guys. Try to be uglier. First off, I want to congratulate Maddie on 12 years sobriety.
Yay.
That is-
Congratulations, Maddie.
That is amazing. Keep it up and happy birthday. I know this was filmed a while ago, but wow, she decided on her birthday to just change her life and have a whole new year. And great job. Great job. Go pick up that chip, girl. Let's get down to Leva and her 7 businesses. I don't know that they're all on King Street. Maybe they are. Can anyone else own a restaurant on King Street? Yeah, and King Street's not the only place to go eat. There are plenty of streets in Charleston, Market Street, East Cumberland Street, lots of places. But King Street, this is like where you go shopping, a lot of little boutique shops. She said she wants to keep it boutique. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
And they're different restaurants. It's not like the same one.
Yeah, it's not like she has a chain of the exact same thing. She's got little niches for each one of them. So I think it's amazing.
I agree. Not like my ex who just has a chain of them here. Anyway.
Glad you got that dig in.
Why compare? So Andy asked the staff, what's the biggest tip that you've gotten? And they're like, 2,000. And then Emmy is like, no, actually about 3,500 once, because the tip was already included on the $10,000 bottle of champagne I sold. And then they tipped on top of that.
Wow.
$10,000 bottle of champagne.
That's the price of, that's more than my car. What I paid for my car.
What does that taste like?
What does that feel like? Like to be able to not even worry about dropping 10,000 on a bottle of champagne.
I mean, I like champagne, but not that much.
Well, I was just sitting here thinking, crap, I stress over spending $20 on something. I can't even comprehend 10,000.
I can promise you the mimosas I had at brunch at Republic did not have the 10,000 champagne. They probably had the cooks out for that. So then we start talking about people that have gotten written up. And Molly says, oh, I've gotten written up once. But Maddie's like, no, girl, no. 3 times while I was managing. And Molly tries to back and defend that. And Michols brought the receipts.
Literally, like he has a binder with color-coordinated pages of receipts. I think for everybody, honestly. He was not going to miss a moment.
Well, he said he printed that out 2 years ago, which must have been when some of this stuff was going on. Molly says this was too much. What do you think?
No, I don't think so. I mean, coming from somebody who used to be in human resource, you want to keep a record of that stuff. So no, I don't think it's too much. Bringing it to the reunion, maybe.
I mean, she's fired. How long do you hang on to that record? 3 years?
That I can't remember. I'm sure there's a time. It's probably very similar to us, you know, the amount of time that we have to hang on to legal records.
Well, it's 6 years, but I was thinking probably wait out the statute of limitations. Lawyer brain.
Yeah.
I think what it shows is that Michols knew some shit was going to come up.
True.
He told her that she was the worst employee ever. He was ready to prove it. I like that you brought the receipts, honey.
I've never heard of anybody getting written up for a bad review, though.
Well, I don't know that I ever worked anywhere when reviews were big.
True. That's not something I had, because I was in manufacturing, so that would not have been something that applied. So I'm assuming, I guess you could, if a customer had a bad experience and left a bad review on Yelp or Google or whatever it is.
We get bad reviews sometimes in our comment section.
We just smile. Pretty.
They tell us we should quit.
Lauren
we've had the comment section try to fire us before.
I tell Lauren not to tell me the bad comments because it's hard enough for her to get me in here the way that it is. I'm like, if somebody doesn't like me in the comments, just don't even tell me.
I don't even care. I'm here for the love. The channel's there for love. But let's talk about the content of the review real quick. She made somebody another drink. They said they didn't order another drink. She said that she asked twice first to them, and that left a bad taste in their mouth. I don't know that she was like forcing them to buy the drink. Like, if she was, that would be a different story.
Right. I mean, she said she asked
think
twice. They said
absent her-
yes, and she made the drink.
No, well, they didn't say anything.
I thought she said they said yes. I'm sorry.
But look, that bar is super busy. It's packed like a little tiny sardine can. People want their drinks. Like, if somebody's been up there and ordering drinks and she made one, I don't see the problem with her saying, oh, I asked you twice, I didn't hear you respond. As long as she's not like forcing the person to pay for it.
I think
And
the
I
guy
think it
was
would almost be worth the cost of doing business if somebody keeps drinking.
right. I think that it was more the attitude that the person felt they got from her in the interaction, which wouldn't
Drunk
surprise me. I can
person
see
out
Molly
at a
being that.
bar. I mean, the customer is always right, but that also shows to me that they've seen that side of her at work, because that could be like totally innocent. When
True.
people have complaints about Dee, like, usually I have to like figure out what happened, but a lot of the times people can get very stressed out talking to an attorney and a paralegal. I mean, don't be stressed out talking to us. I tell people that all the time. I'm like, we're total goofballs. We're not judgy at all. No judgment here. Yeah, we've got a lot of opinions, but we always say that we love these people on the reality shows. Like, and thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Thank you for your American service to us. Showing up on these crazy shows
You give
so we
us-
can watch them.
And giving us so much material to talk shit about.
You bring joy, 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 joy down in my heart. So yeah, I think they know how Molly can be. And now
Exactly.
it wasn't all write-ups because of reviews. So viewers have been giving Michols actually a lot of crap about how he's handling his relationships, you know, with Molly and going off on her, going off on Late. We didn't hear that they gave him any shit for going off on Emmy, though.
No, they didn't, did they?
No, didn't say that. Now, did they? Because with Lake, it's like a sibling thing. You know, like we're chasing each other around with knives. Excuse me? With knives? Which is pretty much the reaction the cast gives to Michols. He's like, yeah, my sister and I used to chase each other around with knives.
Never, ever. Have I ever? No, that's not normal, Michael. Sorry.
Channel server, if you chase your siblings with knives, let us know. Let us know in the comments. Come tell us. Would I have liked to? Yes. Did I? No.
I wouldn't put something in my hand that I might actually use. Let's just put it that way. You know, if I
Did
was
my brother
mad or
hit my
something.
cousin in the head with a baseball bat? Yes. Did we chase each other with knives? No.
I have been in fist fight with cousins, so I can't really. But we knew this. I'm Gen X.
You didn't bring a knife to the fist fight.
I did not. We kept it toe to toe.
And Michols and Molly, they kind of put things behind them, patch things up. Molly makes some sort of comment about we've been through a lot this summer, so I wonder what is happening off camera. That definitely is addressing something.
Right. Yeah. It made me think the same thing. Like there's things that we didn't see on camera that must be going on behind the scenes.
And I have no idea what those are.
No. I hope it's nothing serious, though.
She made it sound serious, which had me worried.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of all of these businesses Leva has on King Street, Andy's prying. He wants to know, did you ever consider Joe Bradley, especially for this rooftop bar? And like she said on the show, Leva admits she and Lamar were in serious talks with Joe about it. But at first, you know, he went on salary and then he had freedom to move around, but he would go off sometimes. They wouldn't know if he was coming back. He would say, I'm networking. And then it went to, we're taking our birthdays off, which
People
that's
really
a
don't
luxury
do that.
as a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went to, he's following Maddie around and then he's networking with Maddie. I'm sure this networking isn't pulling in anything from her business. If
No,
she
I
was
think
seeing any sort of benefit of this networking, it wouldn't be an issue. It's an excuse, and she sees right through it.
exactly. That's what I was getting ready to say. I think he's just using it as an excuse to just follow Maddie around wherever she goes.
And like Leva said, you at a job where you're checking in. When you're a business partner, you don't check in. You have to show up. I can't sit here and babysit you. I thought the way she put it made a lot of sense.
It did. It made sense when they did it on the show, and it made sense here in the reunion.
Now, Joe does have a business to announce. King Street Concierge. It's at joebradley.com.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure how that works with the SEO for him, but he basically is helping people set up events. He's going to be using the bars to partner for these events. He also has pulled in some concerts, set up a few. Now, one called him, but set up a few for Leva's new bar. So I think this is a step in the right direction. This is exactly what Leva was talking about.
Well, and it's even what we were talking about. When they were discussing this, I was like, he should do something like that. It gives him more freedom to operate on his own and yet still stay connected to the businesses there with Leva. So I think it's perfect for him.
But also, if he starts doing a good job and bringing in a lot of revenue and he's showing up for his own business and there's a little risk to Leva here. If anything, it's just he's pulling people into her restaurants. If he builds that rapport with her from a business level, I see him partnering with her, I would say in like 5 years.
Yeah. He just
Now,
needs to
she
show
seems
that
to be
his
on
commitment.
a faster pace than I am. She talks about, he needs to do this for 1 year. Not that
You're a
Leva
little
needs
more-
my business advice, but I would want to see more.
You're a little more cautious.
I'm a little more cautious. Hey, I'm a risk analyst. That's what I do. Now, while Joe is in the hot seat, let's just turn up the heat a little bit and throw Maddie on him. The question is, how long was Joe in this group chat where they were all aware that the rumors about Trevor were false, but they weren't telling Maddie, which, of course, Maddie found out right before the reunion last time. So what Joe has said is that he started taking her side and getting defensive before it got to the point, I guess, where it was revealed that Trevor had not cheated on Maddie. But the guys are like, no, 100% he knew.
That's not good.
Maddie seems to kind of take the position, though, that it is what it is at this point.
I think that she has a little bit too much emotion about the whole Trevor thing, because Justin pointed that out. He's like, I feel like you care more than you're saying. That's the vibe I'm getting from you. And I get that vibe from her, too.
We got that during the season. It was very weird to see Joe standing there while Bradley is talking to Maddie, and Maddie's complaining about this relationship she lost, which was actually good for her to lose. She does say now, in retrospect, she sees how that was problematic, and she does not regret having Joe. Like, it's not about Trevor. Joe is a way better partner. It was more about her friends lying to her. And Joe seems to understand that. Even though he says he gets secure, he seems like he understands that.
Yeah, but as soon as Emmy said that she had actually heard from Trevor, you could tell a difference in Maddie's behavior. She was very interested to hear what he had said to Emmy.
Well, I mean, there was a whole storyline on the show about him, so she's probably like, what that?
Although I did think it was weird that the guy had to leave the country to escape the rumors from the show.
All right. So Molly says that Trevor moved to France because he had to escape the rumors on the show. But then she goes, oh, no, that was just about a month ago. A month ago?
Yeah.
Like, that long after filming, he didn't go to France for rumors on the show. He probably went for a summer or something, he'll be back.
Yeah.
He's not
Well,
leaving because of the rumors.
yeah, I mean, I was getting ready to say, I mean, until we started covering this show, I wouldn't have known who any of these people were if I ran into them in Charleston. It's a big place. I don't think that he's going to have to worry too much about running into women or dating women that may not, may or may not know that he was on this show and what happened on the show.
I mean, I haven't heard it around town.
Mm-mm.
Hey, Izzy. Do you know
He's
who
not
Trevor
a main
is?
character.
She doesn't know who
Nope.
Trevor is either.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't even a main character. He was just like, what,
Mm-mm.
maybe one season as a boyfriend or something?
Yeah, the first season.
Yeah.
Okay.
No biggie. We're on season
But
4
yeah,
now, dude.
Joe, it sounds like he has gotten insecure about it because, people talk, but he knows that Maddie's all about him. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems I was taking out of context that Maddie doesn't want to marry Joe.
Oh, yeah.
That's just the
when,
magic of the edit.
Yeah, it is.
What
What can we
producers
say?
can get you to say when they question you for 30 million hours
Mm-hmm.
and then cut it into 1-minute sound clips.
Exactly.
Now, Justin is the only one who seems to think Maddie still has feelings. But really, are we gonna trust Justin's gut feelings on love? Justin, who is in love with Charlie and ready to marry her after 3 weeks. He might oversee
Hey,
things.
I think he's actually still seeing her though, because they asked him something about her and he had made a comment. I was like, wow, he's actually still seeing Charlie?
Well, I
Who knows?
do remember seeing a clip from the reunion. Remember, we're only on part 1, but they ask about her dating Craig, who is one of the Southern Charm cast members. So,
Oh.
like, at the same time, he might still be dating her, but I know that we're going to address Charlie later in the reunion.
So it's going to be it's to come.
Yes, I'm sure this will come, unless they've, just cut it out of the reunion. I don't know. So, I don't know if we addressed this part. I don't think we've addressed this part yet either, but quickly, Will and Emmy.
Mm-hmm.
Brad says he's heard, was it Brad said he heard another rumor
I think
about
it was
Will?
TJ. I think it was TJ.
TJ.
Yeah.
And Emmy is shutting it down from the beginning. She's like, we're not talking about this. He's not here. He's not on the show. We're not talking about it, which good for Emmy for laying those boundaries. Really good for her. I mean, he
Yeah.
isn't on the show. Also, what TJ says, despite her saying, let it lie, TJ gives us his story. He was out with some friends and he insisted on driving a girl home. Like, TJ was looking for apartments with his friend in Columbia, and the property manager recognized him from the show and was like, oh, well, I heard that Will drove a girl home. That's called being a good friend.
Well, or because Andy kept pushing it. Once Emmy had said that stuff, Andy kept pushing TJ to go ahead and tell what, he had heard. So, and that's all he said is, he was leaving a party. The girl was leaving. He said, let me drive you home. And that was it. He didn't elaborate
When
any
you're
further.
at law school, sometimes you need to go out and have fun.
Yeah. But I guess there was
I don't mean hooking up with someone. I mean going out and drinking. And let me tell a little story. I went to the same law school as Will. And this was about 20 years ago now. Started it 20 years ago. Now, this professor was not a dean of the law school at the time, but this is a former dean. And a bunch of the law students, we were all out drinking at a bar, and he was out drinking, and he had a few too many. This is an older guy. He's married, former dean. We got his keys from him and drove him home. I drove his car home because I was the only one that knew how to drive a stick shift. And then we left him on his porch and rang the doorbell for his wife to find him.
You
Did anything
ditched him
happen?
on his own
No.
porch.
But we were making sure that somebody we knew got home safely.
Right. And I
Because
understand
I had not
that.
been drinking. So that's probably what happened, which also
Yeah.
means he probably was the responsible one not drinking.
Right. And I believe that Andy was saying there was some kind of issue with BravoCon about Will showing up because he's no longer on the
Yeah.
show. There was some kind of, Yeah, what was that
People
about?
were like giving Will hell about going to BravoCon. He's supporting his girlfriends. Lay off
He wasn't going as
Will.
a cast member.
He had a taste of the reality TV. He was like, this too much. And I don't blame him. One day we need to read a reality TV contract for the channel surfers and have my legal analysis. I've read through these before. You would be shocked and awed. We'll do it. We'll do it.
Well, that
one
would be
day,
a good one for us to do.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do it. Coming up on Remit Reality at some point in the future. So, Brad was the one who had talked about Trevor cheating with a girl that he was doing workouts with, that he was one of his clients. And Andy asks, well, what about the whole situation in season 1 where Maddie told your girlfriend that you were getting a blowjob in a back alley? Have we cleared that up? So that's what happened. Maddie made the same thing up. And that's what Brad is saying, is that wasn't true. I was just walking with a girl in the alley. I was single. Nothing was happening. And Maddie's like, yeah, you are single, but I saw something inappropriate. But then she doesn't say what inappropriate is. And then she seems to describe it as maybe a head bobbing up and down. And he's like, that's bullshit. We weren't in a car. We were walking. Which, oh my gosh, if this isn't giving me a throwback to Tuesday when we did 90 Day Last Resort and Rebecca and Zied. Rebecca was like, I caught him in the parking lot with the blonde, but then you see him walking through it. So actually believe Brad.
I do too, because I'll tell you why. For me, he said one thing and I was like, yep, I completely understand it. He was like, I was single. I don't have any reason to lie about this. If something like that was happening, I would say it happened. Perfect.
Yes. The other thing he said to me that changed it was, I've taken accountability. Why wouldn't I take accountability for this? I'd be proud to have someone suck in my crayon. And yeah, if you're not watching on video, Izzy's already left the building. She's out enjoying the beach.
I don't think we even got to talk to her other than hello.
Other than hello. She's got stuff to do today.
She's a busy, popular girl.
But our guest, I will definitely make sure our guest comes and says hi by the end of the show. So, yeah, I'm Team Brad here. But then again, I'm like, why won't Maddie just take accountability for this?
Why do we keep bringing it up if it was season 1, for fuck's sakes? That's the other thing I'm thinking.
Because this season had Maddie getting upset that Brad made something up, but Brad, on the other hand, is saying, well, you've done it before to me.
Yeah. I was really surprised with Maddie's attitude this reunion. She does not seem herself. Usually she's very diplomatic, neutral, and she seems to be really like aggressive or angry. And I can't figure out, maybe we'll see in part 2 what she's angry or upset about. I'm kind of thinking that it might be the Mia stuff at the end of the last episode where she was telling TJ and them at lunch that Maddie said she wasn't going to, she didn't see herself marrying Joe or something. But she's got some hostility or something going on with her. And it's definitely present in the way that she's talking to people, but we haven't quite figured out what it's about yet.
I haven't even picked up on that, but you pick up on things sometimes that I don't.
I do. Yeah, I do. She just doesn't. Normally, she's not quite this aggressive with people when she talks to them. She's pretty upset.
Agreed. We don't hear much from Emmy this episode. She does mention, though, that watching this season back, she learned a lot about herself. It feels like she realizes now that she was doing a microaggression and that she's doing some of the work. That was the impression I got, but there wasn't a lot of detail about it.
Yeah, and I think that the Emmy stuff is going to come up in part 2 because it was just, they just started touching it at the end of this episode. But I think that hopefully she recognized just how ugly, and I don't mean looks, how ugly she was this season, because she was just, she was just
beautiful. And I hope she's done that work. And I think that's one of the hardest things for these people on reality TV is seeing themselves. Also seeing themselves in a light that an editor is casting them in. Not to say it's not all true. It's like, yeah, they said that, but they said that after they were sitting there questioned for hours on end to say things a million different ways. Same thing. Just keep saying it different ways until we get a good soundbite. So always stuff to remember. But what we do know is that her making up this stuff about microaggressions, I'm not saying that was a soundbite. That was real. And hopefully she's done the self-reflection on that. Because that was real wrong.
Well, she just kept backpedaling the whole season. Like, she
And
was
she kept
not
pushing
going to
forward
own
with the
that.
bullshit.
Yeah, she
She's
wasn't
like,
going to
oh,
own
I'm
it.
sorry, but I was scared. Bitch, no, you weren't. Sorry for the B word. But no, you weren't.
Why are you?
So Andy asks Joe whether or not his relationship with Maddie is impacting his friendship with Brad, TJ, and Justin. And he's like, a little bit, but not really.
Right.
That's kind of the answer you get in a roundabout way.
Right. And Maddie is sitting there saying, I don't control this man. Anybody that's ever seen us together knows that I can't control this man. But yet there's a whole clip of Joe telling the guys that she does interfere with his friendships with them and spending time with them.
Well, she also first is like, he's not your... Joe says, yeah, we're friends to Justin. And then Maddie's like, no, you're not. I haven't seen you hang out with him outside of Republic, which... Why are you butting into this? Like, if Joe feels like he's friends with Justin, that's his friendship. I have friends I've never met in real life. Like Nori. Well, I've been friends with her for like 7 years.
Yeah, but this comes back again to what I was saying. The aggression that Maddie's been exhibiting this reunion, it's just not normal for her. So I'm just it's throwing me off a lot.
Well, the other thing that I was thinking is if Justin and TJ and Brad are hanging out at bars and Maddie is sitting there saying, look, you're going out to bars late at night. I think you're drinking too much. That could interfere with the friendship. Like if that's their social thing to do and Joe's having to pull back. Also, though, I feel like Joe self-isolates into Maddie, if that makes sense.
I think he chooses to be up her ass 24/7, honestly.
He draws into her. He's leaving work and everything for her. But like, what if they went to a baseball game in Charleston, like the River Dogs, or they went to the beach for the day? Is she going to have the same problem than if they're hanging out late at night, drinking
I don't know.
$20 drinks on Market Street?
I mean, it was clearly daytime when he was telling them that. The clip that they showed was during the day. It looked like maybe a lunch or dinner or something.
Well, it's probably filming.
I don't know.
Filming set that up. So besides filming, do they hang out? And that's one of the things that TJ said. He's like, look, I feel like you guys are just my friends on the camera. Maddie and Joe, because you don't show up unless the camera's there. I have been at second week for 64 weeks, like over a year.
Second Sunday.
Second Sunday on King Street. And you guys don't show up except for the few times there was a camera. Like you said 3 or 4 weeks in a row, you were showing up, or 3 or 4 months in a row and you didn't.
Yeah. And they tell him that they're going to show up, and then they don't unless the cameras are there. And Maddie does apologize to him for that and says that she's going to try and do better, which I thought was good.
I like that she took accountability for that. But second Sunday every month in over the decade that I've
everybody
lived here,
knows
12 years.
Yep.
It's not everybody goes, but it's always happens. It always happens.
I
Maybe
said
not
everybody
during COVID.
knows. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Everybody knows that happens, that it's going on. And just from watching the show, he's made it clear that he does that with the Serweeners.
That it happens. Or he's like, I said I might go to it at the very beginning of the season. I also bailed at the last minute, like Maddie and Joe, because sometimes you just don't want to go downtown and have to deal with parking and be around all the people. Sometimes you don't want to, especially if it's hot and humid. But also, I don't have a friend that has a business that they're doing down there. I feel like I would go and support that.
Right. Well, and it's just kind of obvious if you're showing up when the cameras are there and not showing up when they're not there. That's something that really sticks out.
Joe's allowed to be friends with the guys, but only enough to keep them on the show. Getting that paycheck. Now, at this point in the reunion, Grace Lily is like flagging down Andy Cohen. Hey, but I gotta pee. So they let her go pee.
Mm-hmm.
And when they come back, let's talk about the whole Grace Lily, Maddie, Joe situation. So Grace Lily, we know she's struggling with addiction, struggling with getting off the ketamine,
Mm-hmm.
but she's clean at the show today.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this must have been filmed after March, because I think it was like March 10th that she got the charge for, apparently it was carrying 10 clozapines on her without a prescription. So basically, and we talked about this on one of our episodes. I went through the court records.
Mm-hmm.
She was charged with possession of
Mm-hmm.
a schedule. It was like 3 through 6 substance. I can't remember. And we went through that statute. We did the lawyer brain stuff. But we were trying to guess what it might be. Now we know.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently her ex in December had accused her of trying to enter unauthorized. Maybe did she hit him?
I don't know. I just thought I completely understood. Like, I love my pets. So if I wanted one of my pets, I think I would do just about anything to get to my pet.
Because allegedly this was over a kitty that they were sharing after a breakup.
Mm-hmm.
And that charge came in December, and then they brought another charge about having a drug without a prescription. She says they're both getting dropped.
Yeah.
And when we checked, we didn't see anything. Although when we checked, I don't think she had a lawyer on the case.
That's true. She did say her attorney is the one that, thinks that he's confident that both charges are going to be dropped.
I should pull it up because she had not retained counsel last time. So yeah, the only charge that I'm seeing right now that's pending in Charleston County is the possession. And she did retain an attorney. It looks like May 1st he entered an appearance. So good job on that, Grace Lily.
Mm-hmm.
If she was prescribed this, I wonder if she just had 10 pills in a bag and it wasn't in a bottle, because you would just provide the prescription.
Right. That could be.
Although the charges are still pending. So I have another hypothesis. The other thing, possession in South Carolina, if she was in a car and somebody had left a bag of it in there, or it was in her reach, she could be charged with possession. So maybe it belonged to somebody else. It looks like usually it's used to treat schizophrenia or sometimes off-label for bipolar disorder or aggressive behaviors. It does look like it has bad interactions with ketamine, though. So
that's not good.
I hope that this is a misunderstanding and her attorney is able to clear this up if that's the case, because that's could be really dangerous. I mean, doing drugs without prescription can be, but...
And then mixing
one of the reasons.
That's why there's prescriptions, so that it automatically shows up if there's a drug interaction.
And because the doctor thinks you need it. And all kinds of reasons. Now, Grace Lily also deleted all the contacts in her phone that were related to ketamine. So good on her. That's a big first step.
Yeah. She eliminated the temptation in her phone because, nobody memorizes phone numbers anymore, too. So that helps.
She also has been going to AA.
Yeah, she has a sponsor.
But when she was saying all that, the first thing I thought is, she probably has some charges pending she's trying to get dropped. She has these clozapine charges pending. Her going into a recovery program will help with the court. The court's going to see that she's making an effort to reform. She might be trying to get into drug court. Her attorney might ask for pretrial intervention. Which is where she would essentially be on a probation without being on a probation. It's basically we will drop the charges if you don't get arrested and keep your nose clean and go through treatments and do community service, stuff like that. So, but yeah, the attorney made his appearance a month ago and we don't see anything yet, but that's not uncommon. The next thing they'd have is a second appearance where the attorney will show up usually and they'll let the judge know. It's kind of like a status conference that she's represented, whether or not they've gotten discovery. So, okay, Attorney Lauren, putting her attorney hat aside, let's talk about the meat of this tell all. Let's talk
Mhm.
about what we all wanted to know. TJ and Michols. TJ and Michols. The last time that they hook up defined as making out, was New
Mhm.
York. So was that when they showed when they were making out in New York, like the time that Michael made out with 3 other guys?
That's what I assumed, yes.
But when they went to Edisto River
I feel like there were times after that.
this season, they were staying in the same bed places. So maybe they meant like hooking up sex.
Maybe?
I was confused
I was a little confused by it.
because it seemed like they were making out like rabbits this season.
All season, and New York was fairly early in the season. Maybe New York was out of order in the way that they showed it throughout the season or something.
And did they go to Jekyll Island? They went somewhere and they were in the pool talking about it.
That was in the DR.
The DR.
Yes.
Jekyll Island. No,
Jekyll
no, Lauren,
Island.
they didn't go there. They went farther. They went somewhere more exotic. Because in the DR, they had the conversation because they were making out at the bar.
At
And
the bar,
Michael
yeah.
said he loved TJ. And he's like, well, you said it to me also in New York. And
Mhm.
Michaels was like, oh, I said that? Oh, I didn't know. Because
Mhm.
I'm sorry, like the way TJ was coming at it, it felt weird. And then TJ was like, well, I don't think it will work because I want somebody that's been out a little longer, which we talked about when he was dating Matt the last episode. Somebody that's older because he's ready to settle down because TJ is 35 and Michaels is
Mhm.
23.
Mhm.
And the question was, where are your feelings now? So Michael said, no, I did have feelings for TJ and I don't anymore.
Mhm.
And TJ's like, what? You had
Mhm.
you didn't act like it. I thought Michael's it was like a possum eating shit. You could see on his face what he was feeling in
Mhm.
his heart.
Yeah, it's a shame that he couldn't have just been honest with TJ, 'cause I think that TJ's hesitancy, a lot of it came from the fact that he was saying these things to him when he was drinking, and then when he would try to have a conversation with him about it when he was sober, it was, "I don't remember, I don't remember, I don't remember." Like, he just couldn't commit to backing the emotion that he was showing while he was drinking, and I think that TJ may have had a different approach to it if there had been some honesty during sobriety, sober moments, sobriety.
Well,
So
there's also this concern about the friendship, which may be something that Michaels is feeling and why he's afraid to say, yeah, I do feel that way when TJ's like, that's weird. Like you said, you loved me because they do
Mhm.
have this friendship that they don't want
Mhm.
to ruin. And now they're in a
No.
weird place. But TJ, so Michaels is like, no, I've let that pass. And
Mhm.
TJ's like, what that dude? You were making out with 3 other guys while we were in New York. What do you mean you were
How
all
could
about
I
me?
take how could I take you seriously when you were making out with other people? That's the
Well,
way
he may have been
that's
just
true.
having fun, but also just trying to show that, yeah, like I'm respecting the friendship boundary.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
think I think we have 2 guys who are guarding their hearts, and neither one of wants to make the first move to
Well,
admit anything beyond that. So,
I
it's sad
agree.
because I like
But
them
then
together.
I love them together. They're each other's type. And then TJ like puts a stop to it, but then gives an excuse. He's like, no, because I don't want to ruin the friendship. Do you know how many times I said I'm not dating Rob because I don't want to ruin the friendship?
Well, I think in their situation, again, I think they're both guarding their heart. I mean, TJ, that's
Well, they're
just the
also
response.
protecting their friendship. Like, I was best friends with my husband before I ever dated him. And one of our mutual friends kept saying, why don't you date him? Why don't you date him? And I was like, he's my best friend. Like, this is the guy I call
Mhm.
when I get dumped. He's the one that gives me advice. This is my best friend. I don't want to ruin the
Mhm.
friendship. And
Right.
we broke up. We broke up for a year
Mhm.
and I got engaged to somebody else, but like it didn't ruin the friendship. I was the only person I ever was like, look, I'm going to need a break of not talking to you, but we were friends before. So I do want to like rebuild this once I've moved on.
Mhm.
Moved on, went to hang out with my buddy. My buddy was like, your ex is an idiot. And now we're married.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah, I get it. Having dated a friend, I get that awkwardness.
Yeah,
I
I
hate it, though,
understand it,
because
but
I
it's
feel like
never
they're so good together, and I just feel like this is, like, Mr. Darcy. Like, we're just waiting for him to get together.
I'm just waiting for somebody to make the first emotional move, okay? Somebody needs to be the first one to make the emotional move.
I feel like they've made it awkward now. I don't know if they go
Mhm.
back.
That's true. I know.
Watch it, though. Now that they had a little chit-chat about their feelings, I bet they hook up in New York.
I'd like to see that. We probably won't, but I would like to
Next
know that.
season on. All right, so talking about moving forward to the next season, moving forward, all that stuff, let's talk about TJ and Emmy, and how Emmy and Will went on that podcast and, basically called him a predator.
Mhm.
Emmy, living without regrets here.
She's still not going to back down off of it.
She doesn't feel like an apology is owed.
It's a shame because, Joe actually clarified and straightened everything up, and she's still holding her ground on this. It's stupid. It's stupid.
What does it hurt you to apologize, Mimi? So we're left with getting into this Brad and Emmy situation with the microaggressions, which we kind of talked about. She says watching the season back, she wishes she did stuff differently, but then she does what she always does, which is start crying. And that's where we leave off on this episode of Southern Hospitality.
I don't know why she doesn't understand. All Brad wants is an apology. Just fucking give it to him. Instead of making excuses, just give this man the apology that he deserves.
They told you enough times this season, just drop it and apologize. Stop defending it. Will she learn her lesson? We'll find out next week on Southern Hospitality Part 2. All right, channel servers, we have a special guest.
We've been looking for you for a year. Where the hell you been?
So, channel surfers, turn around, Liz. Show them the merch. This is a shirt from way back in the day. Where's Liz? Because Liz, OG channel surfers, OG from a year ago, Liz and I started this podcast. I think we did 1.5 episodes, and then D hopped on.
Thank you for doing that, Dee. Your voice is better than mine anyway.
You're very welcome. I've drugged myself in front of a camera for you.
Thank you.
It was funny. We were doing a co-host with Nori the other day, and Dee goes, Nori's done more episodes than Liz at this point.
Nori's your friend
from Fortnite last night. So yeah, Liz is here at the beach with me. You know what? You want to take the golf cart by the Murdaugh house?
Yes, you do.
Yes, that would be so cool.
I'll start going to get them ready. Do you want me to?
Yeah, Liz is going to go get the kids ready. But before we do, Liz, Charleston opinions. Tell the channel surfers about your experience at Republic.
Experiences at the Republic.
So
But
it must have been a good
I
night.
have been there, but I can't remember anything about being in the Republic other than it's small.
It was a good night then, right?
Anytime downtown is a good night. Or
Yeah.
downtown.
So you heard it here. Republic is small, and it's not memorable when you've had a lot to drink.
It's expensive, like everything else downtown.
Oh yeah, on this episode they were talking about how their biggest tip was $3,500 from selling a $10,000 bottle of champagne.
I need a new day job so we can go do that.
Leva, if you're hiring, here's a Liz.
Dee, when are you coming to Charleston?
I have no idea. I never leave my house. I'm a hermit.
No, every week you drive to Charleston.
Well, yeah, I go to the office every week, but I mean, as far as leisure, I don't make it down very often.
To make leisure when you come for work. Leisure and work coincide.
I'm sure that she can drag me into something.
She
Channel-
dragged me into lots of things.
I tried dragging her into this podcast. I'm going to drag you back in sometimes.
I don't know.
You know what
After
we
dragging
should
me into
cover?
Costco, I don't think I want. After dragging me into Costco when I hate it. Lauren, be like,
Ugh.
let's go get something to eat, and then we end up at Costco, my least favorite place in the whole wide world.
It's
Whatever,
the
she
hot
loves
dogs,
it.
right?
Pizza.
The hot dogs. The pizza.
pizza,
Yeah.
hot dogs.
One or the other.
We had hot dogs last night from Costco.
We did, and they were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yum! I
Mhm.
want a hot dog for lunch.
Liz is obsessed with the Mackenzie Shirla case.
I have watched every documentary on it, Liz.
I just watched the most recent one that came out, and it's still baffling to me.
The one
We're
on
never gonna know.
Netflix.
Yeah,
I'll send you the list. I'll send you the list that I have. There's 4 of them,
Okay.
and each one has something that another one was missing. So
Okay. Nice.
yeah, I'll send them to you.
All right. Channel surfers, thank you for joining us for Southern
you, Liz.
Hospitality. We will be back on Monday with 90 Day Original Season 12. And we'll be back on Tuesday with 90 Day
Last Resort.
The Last Resort. And we'll be back next week with probably the end of the Southern Hospitality finales. I don't know if there will be 2 or 3, but I think there's only 2. We'll be here for all of them. Thank you for joining. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm going to hit the beach to maybe do a little surfing. We will see you next week. Bye.
Let's ride.